They say being nice is a virtue, but what if it's your greatest weakness? Every day, unseen forces are steering your decisions, shaping your life without you even noticing. People who are polite, agreeable, eager to please, they rarely sit at the top. They talk less, listen more, but they pay a hidden price. Opportunities slip past them, manipulation finds them, power skips them. Why? Because in a world built on influence, the kindest souls are the easiest to control. And no one tells you this. Not friends, not family, not the people in charge. They smile at you while quietly deciding your next move. If you think niceness is strength, you're about to see how it becomes your trap. By the end of this video, you'll understand the silent chains that hold the good people down, and you'll start noticing what everyone else is blind to. Most people think control is about force, shouting, or being loud, but the real power is invisible. It lives in patterns, habits, and subtle nudges. People respond more to the unseen than the obvious. That's why nice people, the ones who always say yes, follow the rules, and avoid conflict, are quietly manipulated every day. Think about it. How often do polite people bend their schedules for others? How often do they hold back their opinions just to keep the peace? It feels harmless, even noble, but every concession chips away at autonomy. Every avoidance of conflict sends a signal. I can be guided. I can be influenced. Human brains crave approval. We hate rejection. We fear confrontation. Manipulators understand this instinct. They exploit it without a second thought. And the kind, agreeable person rarely notices it happening until it's too late. Consider the office scenario. A manager assigns tasks, expecting compliance. The nice employee doesn't push back. They don't question motives. They follow quietly. Day by day, decisions are made for them. Control isn't declared, it's assumed. It's not just workplaces. Social circles, friendships, even family dynamics, the pattern repeats. Someone always takes charge, someone always directs, and the good person nods along, believing harmony is worth the silent compromise. Niceness is often praised, but it comes with an invisible cost. It blurs boundaries, it signals weakness, it invites intrusion. Power doesn't notice kindness, it notices opportunity, and wherever opportunity exists, influence follows. The harsh truth: humans are wired to dominate or submit. Empathy and politeness don't protect you. They make you readable, predictable, and ultimately controllable. The moment you understand this, you see why so many nice people never truly hold their own space in the world. Subtle patterns of control are everywhere. They hide in compliments, in favors, in small concessions. The chains are invisible, but heavy, and every day the kind-hearted continue walking, blind to the trap tightening around them. You've been told that being nice gets you respect, that politeness, honesty, and kindness are signs of strength. But here's the uncomfortable truth: they often signal the opposite. Ask yourself, how many times have you watched someone bend over backward for approval, only to be overlooked? How many times have your words of caution or insight been ignored, while louder, more aggressive voices take the stage? It's not luck, it's a pattern you were never meant to see. Humans aren't fair. They don't reward goodness, they exploit predictability. The moment you become agreeable, predictable, easy to read, you've handed control to someone else, and most nice people never even notice. They think the problem is external, when the real trap is internal. Consider this: the quiet helpers in every group, the ones who avoid confrontation, smile at criticism, and accommodate others. At first, they're admired. Everyone likes them. But over time, admiration fades and expectation grows. They become tools. Roles solidify. Influence shifts away. The very traits they believed made them strong become shackles. Contrast that with the few who break the mold. Those who pause before agreeing. Those who speak selectively. Those who withhold compliance just long enough to assert subtle authority. They aren't rude. They're invisible strategists. And that difference, barely noticeable at first, changes how the world reacts to them. You see, the world doesn't bend to kindness. It bends to calculation, to presence, to silent influence. And every nice person who thinks empathy is armor is walking blind into a game they can't see, being moved like a chess piece. It's a hard pill. The traits society glorifies often make you predictable, readable, and controllable. Politeness doesn't equal power. Agreeableness doesn't equal safety. They equal visibility. And the more visible you are to manipulation, the less control you have over your own life. Now imagine realizing this after years of giving in, accommodating, smiling, and nodding. That slow, creeping awareness. Every favor, every compromise, every polite word has quietly mapped the path for others to steer your decisions. And by the time you see it, the game has already been won without you knowing it.
Notice what's happening. Most people never see it. They keep bending, agreeing, giving, and don't even realize they're being guided. But you're noticing patterns that others ignore. You're starting to see the invisible strings. That's not luck, that's awareness. And in a moment, you'll learn exactly how power moves around the polite, the predictable, the good ones. Control doesn't announce itself, it whispers. It moves through pauses, glances, subtle choices. The people who dominate aren't always the loudest. They're the ones who make others act without realizing it. And the nice ones? They're the easiest to manipulate because they give away compliance freely. Think about meetings, group projects, or social circles. The quiet, agreeable person offers ideas but rarely pushes. Someone else seizes the initiative, frames the conversation, steers decisions. The compliant nodders are left reacting, not directing. They follow because they've been trained, without realizing it, that harmony is worth submission. Power lives in micro moments. Who interrupts? Who pauses before answering? Who decides when a discussion ends? These aren't accidents. Dominance is calculated, and it thrives on the predictable, the polite, the overly accommodating. Even in friendships, subtle dominance shows itself. One person chooses the restaurant, the schedule, the plan, always. The nice friend agrees, again and again. Over time, influence consolidates quietly. They think it's about generosity. It's not. It's about control. Manipulation rarely feels obvious. It doesn't require shouting or threats. It's embedded in favors, in flattery, in timing. People who give too much, comply too quickly, or avoid confrontation, they hand power away unknowingly. And those who understand this, they exploit it, sometimes subtly, sometimes ruthlessly. The cruel irony, the more someone wants to be liked, the more they're guided. Each polite gesture, each hesitant objection, each agreement builds a map for others to navigate and steer their life. If you ignore these dynamics, you become a passive actor in your own story. If you see them, you gain leverage. Every interaction becomes a choice. Every response carries weight. You stop being controlled and start recognizing the invisible currents of influence that run through every conversation, every decision, every social interaction. Authority isn't just a title, it's perception. The moment someone appears confident, deliberate, unshakable, others bend, often without realizing it. And the nice person? They read every cue, but rarely project authority themselves. That gap is where control slips in. Humans are wired to respond to certainty. When a person moves with quiet decisiveness, people assume competence, even if it's unearned. A simple pause before speaking, a calm refusal, a single deliberate word. These tiny signals shift perception instantly. And the compliant, agreeable ones? They assume correctness is loudness, assertiveness, or charm. They miss the invisible markers of dominance. Intelligence isn't just knowing facts, it's understanding patterns, seeing cause and effect in human behavior, spotting the invisible levers others pull. Most good people fail here because their focus is on being liked, being agreeable, being safe. Meanwhile, the quiet strategists watch, measure, anticipate. And by the time the nice person notices, it's too late. The game has been mapped, and they've been placed where others want them. Perception is malleable. A smile can be disarming. Silence can be threatening. Timing transforms words from harmless to commanding. Subtle changes in tone, posture, and choice of action create a shadow influence that most never detect. This is the hidden mechanism of control, the art the kind-hearted rarely master. Every social setting, every conversation, every micro-decision contains power. Those who recognize it, exploit it. Those who don't, they react, always one step behind. And the cost is more than missed opportunity. It's autonomy. Being unaware doesn't just make you predictable, it makes you readable.
controllable, malleable. Now think about all the times you've held back your opinion, deferred to someone else, or said yes to avoid tension. Each one wasn't harmless. It was a data point, a clue, a map for someone else to guide your behavior. And the nice people around you, they do the same. Together, they create a landscape where power is invisible, but absolute.
There's a hidden cost to being nice. It's not obvious. It doesn't show up in grades, promotions, or smiles. It creeps in quietly until suddenly you realize someone else is steering your life. Manipulation isn't loud, it's invisible. A favor here, a compliment there, a subtle expectation, and suddenly decisions you thought were yours are made for you. The good people nod, agree, comply, while the game unfolds around them. And the danger? It's cumulative. Small concessions become habits, habits become patterns, patterns become chains. Deception thrives on predictability. The kind-hearted, the agreeable, the polite, they're easy targets. They assume honesty is universal. They assume others play fair. But the world doesn't operate on fairness. It operates on influence. And those who understand the hidden levers will exploit every opening. Even small social interactions are loaded with risk. Who sits where at a table? Who interrupts? Who volunteers first? These micro-decisions shape perceptions of power. The nice ones comply, assuming kindness shields them. It doesn't. Compliance is visibility. Predictability is vulnerability. And someone, somewhere, is taking note. The frightening part? Most victims never see it coming. They feel like life is random, chaotic, unfair. But it's not random. It's carefully guided by those who understand subtle control, who exploit invisible pathways, who operate in shadows. And the good people, blinded by empathy, are often the most predictable, the easiest to map, and the most likely to be manipulated. Awareness is the only defense. Recognizing patterns, noticing micro-moments, questioning intentions, these aren't moral choices, they're survival strategies. Without them, the chains tighten. Without them, every act of politeness, every agreement, every concession becomes a thread someone else can pull. The harsh truth? The world is not designed for kindness, it's designed for influence. And unless you start seeing the invisible structures of control, the nice path is not safe, it's a trap. Every moment of compliance, every nod, every attempt to avoid friction, it's all being logged, and someone, quietly, is deciding your next move.
Here's the truth few dare to admit. Being nice isn't strength, it's predictability, it's exposure, it's handing control to the people who understand influence better than you do. And the world? It doesn't reward kindness, it rewards awareness. Every conversation, every choice, every pause, it matters. The people who move through life quietly, observing, calculating, holding their boundaries, they rarely need to shout, they rarely need to force. Power flows to them because they are unreadable, unpredictable, unavoidable. The good people, they're easy to steer. But the aware, they shape the currents. They redirect the flow. And once you see it, once you truly notice the invisible levers around you, you can't go back. You start playing the game on your own terms. So pay attention. Watch the pauses, the silences, the subtle nudges. Question the kindness that comes too easily. Recognize the patterns in every interaction. And remember, control isn't about being loud, it's about being deliberate, selective, and strategically unreadable. If this video has opened your eyes, if you've started seeing what others overlook, don't stop here. Observe, learn, and start reclaiming the influence that was quietly slipping through your hands. Subscribe and keep sharpening your awareness. The world doesn't wait for the nice. It moves for the calculated, the observant, the quietly dominant. Make sure it moves for you.